Good afternoon, Hailstalkers. Hope you guys are having a good rest of your Wednesday. Saw the title. We are looking at Chicago, though it's not just Chicago that is seeing these storms. We will obviously be getting to Chicagoland pretty soon, but we're kind of in a waiting period, just a few more minutes before the storm actually gets in. If you're in Chicago, you probably already got some of those warnings that did pop in. So let's kind of go around the horn first, and then we will be focusing on Chicago for the time being. So throw your comments, questions down there. We will get to them as soon as possible. Our focus that we were thinking is going to be for today was going to be in Colorado. Now, Fort Morgan did have a good little bit of hail. They had 2 inch, 2.5 inch, so just a lesser than baseball-sized hail move through the small town of Fort Morgan. I believe that we did say we are looking at a 3-star map for Fort Morgan. That storm is currently making its way through, still warned for what looks to be golf ball sized hail. Moving further south, Colorado Springs, all the way down to Trinidad. There is currently a severe thunderstorm there with 1 inch hail. Just near Santa Fe, there's another one in the southwest. So let's take a look at what we're seeing across a lot of the Midwest. We got Green Bay actually seeing several reports of actually near golf ball sized hail over there in Green Bay. This warning is currently for golf ball sized hail, not moving very fast, only around 20 miles an hour. So let's put this in motion real quick. You can see it's pretty much just pounding on Green Bay right now. If you're from Green Bay, let us know. We'll be getting to those questions quickly. Moving further south, got another storm rolling through here. Currently warned for what looks to be really for wind, actually. Yeah, it's being warned for 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts there. Looks like they just added a new warning as well, not too recently. It did knock down that wind to 60 miles an hour. But obviously, Chicago, the most recent one, they've actually just bumped it up to include 60 to 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. This is kind of falling into a small little line here in the past couple of minutes. But it's also got a tornado warning associated with it. So let's go over to our a little bit tighter radar. So several severe thunderstorm warnings across this entire little cluster here heading in towards Chicago. A couple of these, this one was warned for 2-inch hail, the most recent extension, because this one is about to expire in about a minute and a half. And I believe this one is 2. It's got 31 minutes left on that one. What you're seeing down below is I've got a camera pulled up from, let's see, can I re-update it? Nope, can't re-update it. This is over in toward Chicago, and we are kind of just watching the storm rolling into Chicago. This is over toward Bloomingdale, Mount Prospect, Buffalo Grove. You'll be seeing these storms pretty soon. But it is eyeing down downtown Chicago. That is the reason we are here, is because we are seeing this storm heading right for downtown Chicago. It's been got a couple 1-inch, 1.5-inch hail reports. Elgin, South Elgin, Wayne, Plato Center. You're seeing these storms pretty aggressively right now. Yeah, this most recent warning is now bumped up the winds to 70 miles an hour, warranting that considerable tag for this severe thunderstorm warning that is probably clipping parts of Chicagoland now. A couple more thunderstorms to the south. Garden variety looks to be 1.5-inch hailstones. 1 inch, 1 inch. Nothing over 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, though. So that one's allowed to expire. The one behind it, that's not surprising. These storms have picked up a bit of speed. They were moving only about 15 miles an hour not too long ago. Now they've doubled their speed to 30. So they're still booking it. Well, not really booking it, just moving it more over normal speed. Storm still got 1.5-inch hail. A little outflow right there. I think that's the reason why they're giving it that. You can see the drop in our correlation coefficient here. A couple of these yellows, some of the greens starting to pop in there. Wouldn't be surprised if they do reissue this tornado warning. Storm out velocity showing a pretty good little outflow Go to base velocity and see some of the speeds here. Let's see, what is the speeds? 50 knots, 53 knots, 55 knots. Yeah, that's the reason why they've reissued it with a wind. Well, it is updating. The camera is, but unfortunately, Chicago does not have fantastic cameras, unfortunately. Past Genoa and DeKalb. Well, it's beginning into DeKalb pretty soon. This one's probably got a decent hail in it. Yeah, DeKalb, you're warned for 2-inch hail. I believe this is heading your way. It is. This will be heading through DeKalb pretty soon. Got a good little hail core on it. Let's see what it looks like on the correlation. Oh, yeah. This is going to be bringing some decent hail to DeKalb for sure. Several reports have already popped up out of this. You can see those 1-inch, 1.5-inch hail reports just northwest of Chicago. It's a terminal radar. What does it look like? Nothing great. So we could still see a good little bit of that correlation coefficient drop off. We use KDP. Oh, yeah, a lot of moisture in there. Will Chicago get hit? At this current rate right now, I would be surprised if Chicago doesn't get hit. The winds are probably are shifting into the main threat right now. We're seeing this little burst of wind, and this is going to probably wrap around and probably reissue a tornado warning. The town's got hail near Chicago. Right now, it's looking like DeKalb is probably going to be getting hail pretty soon. Huntley, Lake in the Hills, Carpentersville. Those places probably got that 1 to 1.5-inch hail, just based on reports. 11 minutes left in that tornado warning there. Still some very strong winds over at Streamwood and Barlett. You can see this little bulge right here. That right there is your outflow boundary. This is going to be pushing ahead of the rest of the storm, which is going to be causing some very aggressive winds, probably heading in toward Bloomingdale and Rosslet. No problem, Joey. Kevin Sanchez, what do you think about St. Louis, Missouri? You think you're going to get any hail this year? You guys have been bobbing and weaving these hailstones. I swear, it is. It's kind of wild how you guys have been able to avoid the hail so much this year. But when it comes to the outlook for today, you're literally splitting the middle right now of these storms. You got the threat stretching down all the way down to almost New Orleans. You've got Chicago threat here, but St. Louis, you could get some storms. And over the next couple of days, you have that marginal risk tomorrow. Yeah, you could just see something just south of marginal on Friday, Saturday, unless you're in the northern plains. Ain't seeing anything like that. I'd say tomorrow's probably going to be your best bet. Been waiting on that hailstorm. Oh, yeah. A lot of you probably out there. Hail just hit Hoffman Estates near Elgin. I would not be surprised. Oh, yeah. I would not be surprised in the slightest. Let's see if we can see some drops in our correlation. Yeah, there's a good little band here that kind of made its way through. I was probably more concerned about rotation with this one because you had a good little notch that was forming. Yeah, they're going to have to reissue this tornado warning, I think. For one, the rotation is almost completely out of the warned area at this point. Give me a second. I'm going to try to get us a better camera. Streamwood. Actually, we've got... So this is a camera that was over toward Elgin. Well, that's not it. There we go. Well, I can't minimize that. Well, that's great. But got a lot of traffic going on. It's on I-90. Do you happen to know what the size of that hail was over near Hoffman Estates? Safely, of course. Got 2 tornado warnings. That's one that's closer to Waupun. Green Bay is no longer severe warned, so we can ease up on that one. Other considerable, we still have 2 considerably warned severe thunderstorms. Where is the other one? Yeah, it's over at, oh, this one's still warned for golf ball size hail. Not too bad. I think our attention is probably going to stay pretty focused on Chicago, though, as the storm rolls in through. Still a good little bit of a correlation drop off over near Streamwood, Schaumburg. If I could pull up a Bloomingdale camera real quick. Imagine there's probably a good look at the storms. This is just over at Schaumburg, but it's got a real good view of those clouds, those mean-looking clouds. Evan Perry asked, best chance of hail right now. If you're asking where is going to see the best chance for hail, probably going to be getting over toward Handover Park, Bloomingdale, which is where we're looking at right now. Future, probably just follow this pathway right here, however long it's going to be lasting for. How's Denver looking? Oz asking about Denver. Well, here's the thing. You guys just got barely excluded. This really awkward county line that Chicago has. Also, note this small area right here, this little speck, that is technically not that county. This is technically not the county that Denver's in. This is the weirdest county lines I've ever seen. But for Denver, you're not in the tornado watch. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a stray storm to try to form on top of Denver. But realistically, that's what you're gonna have to look at for today, is like Denver getting a storm basically forming on top of them. So for right now, just keep an eye out. It is hilarious, isn't it? It's like we want this, but we don't want this, and we don't want this. A couple new reports popping in. Like I say, I'm yet to populate on this end yet. No problem, Oz. That's what we're here for. So it's still being marked for 70-mile-an-hour winds and 1.5 inch hail. So that's around ping pong ball sized hail. Yeah, we got a little hail core right here. This is perfectly correlating with this purple area here. This is over Bartlett and Streamwood right now. It's heading into Hanover Park. But this is right along that rotation. They have yet to reissue a tornado warning, which I'm a little surprised that they're not. I'm kind of surprised that they're not doing anything. Where will we see how in the Chicagoland area? Pretty soon, let's actually pull back up the correlation coefficient. Pretty soon, you're going to be seeing it in Hanover Park, Rossell, Bloomingdale, maybe getting into Carroll Stream. I'm really specifically looking at this little hail core right here that's located in between Streamwood, Hanover Park, and Schaumburg. It's going to be getting to Hanover Park pretty soon within the next couple of minutes, if not already there, depending on the lag on this radar here. Rossell, you'll be seeing this pretty soon. Current trajectory has it going into Chicagoland, right into downtown Chicago. So, like, I don't know for certain if it will make it that far. Speaking of, doesn't the Cubs have a doubleheader today? I'm like 90% sure the Cubs have a doubleheader. I know because they're playing the Mets, but I don't know if they're playing in Chicago. Where are they playing? I know this because I have Soto on my fantasy baseball team, and he just got hurt. So I'm not exactly a fan of that. They are in Citi Field, so they are not playing in Chicago. All right, well, Cubs fans, you don't got to worry about anything. You just have to worry about beating up the Mets a little bit more. Still, oh, there it is. Got that 55-mile-an-hour wind report. This is over at the private weather station, the Kill Carp 8. I don't know. This Rossell storm is really falling in on itself right now. Looking at what of our cut down the warning just a little bit. I'm just checking out, see what other meteorologists are saying. Kind of just going to go back and we're going to kind of just check out on everything. I do want to note that Fort Morgan has officially been put as a 3-star. I'm going to back up a little bit just so we can kind of see what has happened over the past couple hours. We had a pretty good cell that ran through the city, dropped a couple baseballs, so about 2.5, 2.75 inch hail, kind of popped out of nowhere. Actually got the destructive tag for a short moment there as it made its way through Fort Morgan. Yeah, they had a lot of reports of golf ball and then eventually that near baseball sized hails that moved through the city. So that's officially a 3-star hail map. Actually, look at this right here. They got a lot going on. Rain's pretty heavy. Got some mean looking clouds. This is over toward Higgins. Got reports of tree limbs and power lines blown down in Bartlett. Fort Morgan is taking a beating. Yeah, luckily it's no longer taking a beating, but they absolutely took a mollywhopping earlier today. That storm is still rolling though. Watching from Orlando, we're talking with Dad and Rossell. I'll take a look at that real quick. Yeah, Rossell is in the middle of it right now. You're probably there. If this is a recently updated frame, they might not. Your dad might not be getting the hail just yet, but he's pretty much in the path for that hail. We haven't had a lot of reports of hail lately, but I can tell there is hail in Hanover Park right now just by looking at my radar here. And the winds are probably whipping pretty aggressively. We've got currently warned, actually, I've now bumped it down to 1-inch hail. So we're no longer looking at any significant hail. It's just on the cusp of being severe warned for the hail. But the winds are 70 miles an hour. So this is quickly turning into a bit of a wind threat. This cell is. That it was. That was a very aggressive cell that moved through Fort Morgan. If this doesn't try to protrude out a little bit more, this is just kind of, this rotation is going to be completely enveloped in itself and become kind of completely embedded, which doesn't usually bode well for tornado threats, which I'm okay with that. I am okay with one last tornado in a city. And we're still talking about how we could see some more hail across Colorado later. Well, it wasn't 1.75-inch hail. They had a report of 2.5 just south of Fort Morgan. It was a pretty mean one. You can see how this rotation is kind of basically broadening out. So if you look past here, is a much tighter rotation. Like if there was a tornado, you could definitively see that right there. This right here is a much broader rotation. So it's going to be hard because these tornadoes have to start at basically a pinpoint and then broaden out from there. You can't exactly do that just with a broad rotation over Bloomingdale. So it might be pretty cool to see the skies in Bloomingdale. Unfortunately, it's probably getting rained on and maybe some hail sprinkled in there as well. Back to correlation. Yeah, it's been really dropping off. If we go back a little bit, you can see much brighter colors. We see a lot of these greens and even a speck of blue here and there as it was going through West Dundee. But as it moved through, while it might have gotten a little bit bigger, our colors turned a little bit more red and orange and even a little bit, maybe just a couple bits of yellow there. So that means that the hail in there is much smaller now. So while there's probably still hail in this storm, it is still being warned for 1 inch. It's the wind is going to be that big issue, especially with these storms that are going in through West Chicago, Wheaton, Lombard. That's this inflow right here. This inflow is moving with the speed of the storm, which is currently running at 30 miles an hour, but it's also got its own flow as it pulls itself into that center of rotation. And so with that, you got some very strong winds on the frontal edge of this storm. And then toward Bloomingdale, this outflow right here, backside of the rotation, it's got, let's see, this is 55 knots. That's roughly 63, 64 miles an hour. So very strong winds moving into Chicago. Oh yeah, we're going to change cameras again real quick. Going to get ahead of the storm. Go to Elmhurst. That's where we want to go. Kind of cross-referencing right now. I'm looking at our map and trying to get a good camera view. That's not a good camera view. That's not a good camera view. That's an awful camera view. There we go. Leave north side of 390. That's a good view. Get this popped up here. There we go. Illinois update. I'll get you, Allie. Illinois, most of it's still in the northern section, from about Freeport all the way down to just almost Bloomington. You're seeing a severe thunderstorm watch. This is going to go in effect, I believe it's until 10. Yes, it is until 10 o'clock Central Time. You got a couple severe thunderstorm warnings, one near Awada. This one's for 1.5-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. 1-inch hail, also 60-mile-an-hour winds just near Walnut, a little bit closer toward Amboy, Lamoille, I think. I apologize. Mendota, you're going to be in that warning pretty soon. Just near Freeport, there's another storm there as well. The big one is obviously heading in towards Chicago, which we have been watching pretty closely. This one is heading in toward the city. Warning currently has 22 minutes left on it. So they're probably going to have to reissue a warning within the next 10 or 15 minutes or so as the storm is getting near the edge of this severe thunderstorm warning. By the time it gets into Chicago, it might end up being a wind event. Still have for 1-inch hail, though. And by the looks of it, a little bit of a hail core. Elk Grove Village might be seeing some hail. Rossell, seeing a little bit of hail. Bloomingdale, probably a little bit of hail there as well. That leading edge, near Addison, is not seeing any hail. Looks like it's almost exclusively rain. Yeah, there might be a speck or two of hail, but not really. Oh, we zoomed in way too much. So we got another report. 4-inch diameter tree limbs blown down. That's like, what, that big? Shoot. That's some big tree limbs. Oh, yeah. Here's also one thing that I've neglected to mention. Actually, we don't have a flash flood warning activated right now. So, got another report. Video being shared on social media of a few inches of standing water along State Street in downtown Elgin. Man, Elgin got all of it today. Got the reports here of hail. Definitely had some wind and flooding. Poor Elgin. A little bit of a hail core trying to develop north of Bloomington. Although this entire line of storms has kind of lost itself. It's a really broad rotation now, and it's almost completely, it's pretty much fallen down at this point. I think our tornado threat's pretty much, our immediate tornado threat has fallen off pretty significantly. We got 3 tornado warnings now elsewhere. What are we looking at? We got near Waupun. This is Beaver Dam. This is up in Wisconsin, just near Fond du Lac. Past couple of minutes, the storm's rolled through. Looks like it's lost a little bit of strength, but it has enough for a rotation. I don't know. They've been issuing a lot of severe thunderstorm, a lot of tornado warnings today in Wisconsin that I'm like, hey, are you sure? Are you sure on that one? Let's go back and see what else is going on. Got another tornado warning out toward northeast Colorado. It's just near Proctor, Sterling, Crook, near Fort Morgan. It did get hit earlier today. This storm south of Fort Morgan still being warned for golf ball sized hail, so it's considerably warned. That tornado warning's got associated with tennis ball sized hail. Wow, we did say that it was going to be Colorado that probably had the best chance of getting big hail. I don't think a lot of us saw a tornado possibility going straight through Chicago, but luckily it appears that threat has kind of diminished a little bit. We are going to be seeing this getting pretty close to the terminal. This is going to be getting into toward O'Hare pretty soon. Over toward LaGrange. Ooh, the update on that camera. They're getting plastered with rain. Holy cow. Can't really see much. Just a still image. So that's unfortunate. Move that. There we go. So that's unfortunate. We can't see much, but I can tell you right now, it is raining. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning. It's going for DuPage and northwestern Cook counties. Moving at 30 miles an hour still. One inch hail, 70-mile-an-hour winds. It's almost fully encapsulated itself as what we call. Oh, hold on. This is being funky with me. Stop that. Oh, come on. There we go. So we can see it's almost completely linear at this point when it comes to that wind. So they've cut it down. They're probably going to be reissuing a severe thunderstorm warning pretty soon. That's more than likely going to extend into downtown Chicago. So we'll just have to see. When is this warning going to get issued? Yeah, flash flood warning considerable. What's that about? Huh. South Arizona. I guess 2.5 inches and 2.5 inches of rain for them is a significant amount. Reissued severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, the tornado warning over Proctor currently. Yeah, we're almost baseball-sized hail. That's pretty significant. Even though the severe thunderstorm warning is only issued for ping pong ball-sized hail, that 1.5 inch hail. A lot going across. I believe this is I-80 because that's I-90. No. Pretty sure. No, it's I-70. That's I-70, right? No, this is I-70. That's I-80. Bisbee, Arizona, home of Doug Stanhope. Yeah, they're getting a lot of rain right now. 1.5, 2.5 inches of rain have fallen, and they're still getting more. And in a desert like that, it can't take much. So we've got a new issued severe thunderstorm warning. This one's south of the current cell that we've been watching. This one blew up out of nowhere. Wow. Literally blew up in the past 2 frames. Look at that. 1-2 frames. Boom, it's good. It's there. This is over at Naperville, currently being warned for $half sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. Five inches of rain in less than an hour. And that's probably all the rain they get for that decade. Yeah, they're gonna have to reissue this pretty soon, like within the next radar frame, because these storms are gonna start getting out of this warning in the next few minutes. I don't know really know what they're waiting on. I don't know if they're waiting to extend it all the way to Lake Michigan and trying to wait to the absolute last second to do so. Wait and see. They got to issue a warning soon. So I think I see the warnings early on this one. So we're going to zoom in here. Still nothing there. Wow. Hmm. Late to the chat. Denver chances over. I wouldn't say over. Uh, your chances are just kind of hinging on a lot. Holy cow! 81-mile-an-hour wind gust in Akron. When? Oh wow! It's as that moved through. I'm getting distracted. Denver. So, Denver, you are actually excluded from this tornado watch like by literally one county. Right next to you, like Aurora, Inglewood, Commerce City, Westminster is all under that tornado watch. But strangely enough, they decided to exclude Denver from this severe thunderstorm warning. So let me pull up a model real quick. We can talk about Denver. Just 1 second. I want to pull back up this while pulling this up. Chicago, you got to issue a warning very, very quickly. So this is our HER sub-hourly. This is a very nice short-range model. So looking at Denver, you're seeing this is 5:15 right now. Wow, that's a little behind. Oh well. So we move ahead in time. It's about 6, 8 o'clock. Some of these storms are trying to form right over Denver. I believe this is a splitter. Yeah, so it's trying. I remember yesterday, though, we did have a storm that was supposed to spark up like at midnight in Denver, but it never happened. So take these with a grain of salt. But noticing some of these storms are still popping up across all of Colorado from about 10 to 11 o'clock. So not saying your chances are over, but like right now, it's not looking very smooth across Denver. They issued that warning, finally. Michael, I'll get to your question in just a second. So this warning right here is for 1.25 inch sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. So they have bumped up the hail just a smidge, and this goes for an hour 25. Wow. Yeah, I knew they were going to be extending the warning pretty aggressively, but they are excluding just parts of downtown. It looks like South Side is going to be seeing this warning, but North Side is not. Denver isn't in the map for the next 2 days when it was yesterday morning. Let me pull it back up again. So you kind of are. So here's Denver for the next couple of days. This is for today. You're in that slight risk. This is something that you guys have had for all this morning. And then tomorrow, you're still in that slight risk right here. And then day 3, we have only a marginal, which Denver's just on the outskirts of. And then day 4, that's going to be your Saturday. That's when that risk moves much further to the north. So we are still looking at Denver over the next couple of days. I still say that today is Denver's best chance for hail. That's kind of where I'm staying at. But we could easily be seeing some form of hail trying to get into Denver either tomorrow, maybe Friday. Friday's not looking great for severe wet hail chances, but absolutely could be seeing it tonight or maybe tomorrow. How are we looking in Niles, Illinois? I believe you're on the north side of Chicago in Niles. So it looks like you're going to be missing it. Sorry about that. Looks like you'll be missing those storms. You might be getting some rain, maybe a couple claps of lightning. But for the most part, you're going to be missing the severe stuff. All of it's going to be staying to the south of Niles. Oh, we got to go down to Elmwood Park in order to actually see that severe thunderstorm warning there. But new severe thunderstorm warning. This includes parts of south side of downtown Chicago, LaGrange, Cicero, Oak Lawn, Ellisp, Oak Forest, Flossmoor, and Chicago Heights. Driven through Chicago Heights several times. We had several reports. 6-inch diameter tree limbs down over at Ring Court. Wow. That is significant. So they've dropped it down to 60-mile-an-hour winds, but they bumped up the hail to $0.50. So let's take a look at the correlation. Yeah, a little bit on that leading edge of some hail over toward Bellwood, Westchester, LaGrange Park, LaGrange. This is just near the airport. O'Hare, sorry. Let's take a look around again just to see what's going on across the nation. Got a couple stronger storms, 2-inch hail to heading in toward North Platte. That could get interesting. Golf ball sized hail, that storm that was moving out of Fort Morgan. We got 2 storms now. Owata, one for golf ball sized hail. Oh boy. Give me just one quick moment. I'm going to go refill my water. We are back. Looks like they haven't adjusted anything yet around Chicagoland. Oh, we have a reported tornado. Let's take a closer look at that one. And we don't have any closer? That stinks. Confirmed tornado. Law enforcement confirmed tornado. Okay. Confirmed tornado located near Proctor, 20 miles northeast of Sterling, moving southeast at 20 miles an hour, damaging tornado and baseball-sized hail. So they've got a reported tornado just outside of Proctor. This is in Colorado. Still looking at Chicago, though. This one's going to be expiring pretty soon. This is going to be that 70-mile-an-hour wind gust warning. We're still looking at $half-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds across Chicagoland. This one goes for a while. Hour 16 on that warning. And this storm down here at Naperville still being warned for $half as well. So we got $half and $half. Carroll Stream. You already passed it. You already passed it on this one. Ryan, you have already endured the worst of it. So you are good to go. You're actually past the warning and everything. All that's going to be left really is just a couple showers and maybe some claps of thunder. Beyond that, you're good. No problem, Brian. We got you. That warning has been allowed to expire, just expire. And so now we are not dealing with any. We got another tornado reported warning. Is it just an extension? Oh, it's just an extension. Okay. And there's that debris signature right there. It's hard to see because we're so far away. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere land. See if Cheyenne gives us a better view. Yeah, not really. Can we even see what the vertical structure looks like? Way too high up. Yeah. Granted, we've got 10,000 feet cut off on the bottom, so that kind of sinks. Yeah, we got a pretty intense little cell there. Two-inch hail in southwest Nebraska. So we've got the reported tornado in northeast Colorado, and we're still watching Chicago. Hopefully, these storms are going to be passing on the south side of town. Cicero, Summit, Maywood, LaGrange, Berwyn, Justice, Oaklawn, Palos Hills, Lamont, Bolingbrook, Woodbridge, Deeren, Alsip. I think it's Alsip. Blue Island, Oak Forest, Orland Hills, Harvey, Dalton, Flossmoor, Chicago Heights, Wynwood, and Richton Park, all under these severe thunderstorm warnings. Both for 60-mile-an-hour winds and $50 sized hail. It's got that tornado warning just south of Fond du Lac. Warning for only 1-inch hail. The extension of it's going to be for $50 sized hail. No active tornado in Minnesota, though. Green Bay had a good little cell that rolled through. Are they still getting rain? Oh, yeah. Okay, that cell fell apart fast. They just let the warning die. Let's get back to Chicago. Yeah, not a really good. There's a little bit of a bow right here, and that does help with wind speeds getting a little bit more intense. But beyond that, not really. Summit, Bedford Park, Justice, Burbank. You'll be seeing those storms pretty soon. It's probably the best place you're going to get the strongest winds. Looking for us a better camera. There's a better camera. There we go. This is a little bit closer to downtown, close near, what was the place that I picked? I-90 and the I-190 interchange. Still a lot going on in Colorado. Baseball-sized hail and a confirmed tornado near Fleming, Colorado. Law enforcement confirmed tornado. So we know that it's there, at least for now. But kind of a 1,000-mile view. We've got tornado watches in effect for parts of Cheyenne, Casper, in Wyoming, the most extreme western edge of Nebraska, and about the quarter northeast section of Colorado. Meanwhile, we've got severe thunderstorm watches in effect for southern Nebraska, northwestern Kansas, and stretching down to south central Colorado and northeastern New Mexico. All of those are under severe thunderstorm watches as well. And finally, the place we've been watching a lot more closely lately, severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the both eastern Wisconsin and northeastern Illinois. So a lot of places covered by watches today. Got an active tornado going on up in northeast Colorado. We got a severe thunderstorm that is about to roll through Chicago. Granted, it has lost a little bit of its kick over the last about half hour or so. It looks like it's going to pass south of town. So got a little decent little hail core near Cicero. You can see the drop off in our correlation coefficient there. Not a huge drop off though, so it's probably not going to be massive hail or anything like that. It's warned for 1.25 inch hail, which is about $50. Storm trying to move south of North Platte, warned for 2-inch hail. Baseball sized hail over toward Anton, Colorado. Got a storm in between Pensacola and Tallahassee. Marginally severe, sub-severe hail. Got a couple storms trying to make their way across Wyoming. Winds around 60 miles an hour. Back to Chicago we go. Yeah, these storms are moving pretty slow, 30 miles an hour. Not exactly speedsters by any means. Eureka, near Bloomington, a 55 mile an hour wind gust. So that's a confirmed wind gust there. I'm surprised we haven't had any wind gust reports in Chicago yet, really, with how this storm has been moving through. Oaklawn, you're probably going to be seeing some of that rain coming in pretty soon. Burbank, you're probably getting it right now. Cicero, downtown Chicago is probably getting a little bit of rain right now as well. Let's actually pull up a downtown camera just to see what's going on in the middle of the city. We're not that special where we get a camera like on top of the city, on top of the building, do we? Doesn't look like it. Darn. Well, half of the cameras in downtown Chicago are not even working. Explain that. There we go. There's a downtown pic. There's a picture of downtown for you. So downtown, and we're watching over those storms that are rolling through Cicero, Burbank. Downtown's really only seeing maybe some small hail. I can see some drop offs in our correlation coefficient, just a bit. It also could just be an anomaly with the radar with behind all of this speckled hail core that's going on. So at that confirmed tornado that's rolling over Colorado, this is in Sterling currently, moving slow, 15 miles an hour. Several severe thunderstorm warnings. We currently got, 24 severe thunderstorm warnings. Quite a bit, especially for June. Man, it's a lot of these across the interstate here. You got, man, truck drivers are probably not going to be happy going across here, that's for sure. Several clusters of thunderstorms that are moving their way across northern Illinois. Several of them are severe. Nothing is too substantially severe right now, though. Everything's staying below golf ball sized hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds. They've dropped it down to 1-inch hail going through Chicago as well. So now no longer seeing that much more intense cell rolling through Chicago. One in Boiling Brook is still for $half, though. Batch this to be for $half. No, it's not. For 1-inch hail. Huh. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Looks like we had a lot of golf ball sized hail inside town. Didn't get into the city center, though, but it did bring some golf ball sized hail to the, the northwest side of town. So yeah, northwest side of town, there was a good little cluster of storms that rolled through, had some pretty decent little hailers. Made it a 3-star. All right. Chicago nearing McKinley Park. Getting really dark. Oh, yeah. You'll be seeing that coming in pretty soon. But they've dropped this down to 1-inch hail. No longer 60-mile-an-hour winds, or no longer 70-mile-an-hour winds. So they've kind of dropped this down to just marginally severe at this point. So we're only going to hop off here, kind of conserve some energy because we got a long night ahead of us and a couple days as well. So any last questions, throw them my way and I'll get them answered for you. But if we don't have any other questions about the next minute or so, we're probably going to wrap it up here as we are watching a lot of action across the rest of the country. But we are waiting for Cheyenne to probably see some storms. Maybe Milwaukee as well could be seeing something as well. There's that tornado report. Tornado confirmed by fire department. About that. Alrighty, we're probably gonna be wrapping it up here. We're probably gonna be back later. Imagine I'm probably gonna have another city get hit pretty soon. So I'll be seeing you guys in just the next couple of minutes, maybe close to an hour or so. So hope you guys have a good rest of your day. We talk in more details, talking about the rest of this week. Back again tomorrow. So if we aren't live again for the rest of the day, check all of our social media platforms for our noon show at noon Central Time, just about every day. We'll be on those as we head into this coming weekend, watching for more activity into our next week. So hope you guys have a good one. Stay safe. And of course, stay at Hail Trace. We'll get you everything you need to know about these storms and how to stay safe in them.